Okay, move the clock up to the main floor. What I'm going to start doing is putting in the mechanicals. Now I put in the support for the mechanicals of the clock. You saw that, we cut it in the previous episode. So let's put the faceplate in first. And I may have to do some lining up on this. That's why it's adjustable. Going to the top of the clock. I can put the locking bars in. It's just a T-fitting. Let's change views. Second one. So what I'm doing is going to line up the what I'm looking at is the space here and here. I can adjust this a bit for height. I can release the chains. Now I want to put in a chime board. Which requires a pretty precise alignment. Now I need to slide it over until I'm close to these, but not touching. Can't really see, can you? So I need to come back just a bit. I have to adjust this one just a bit closer. We'll start with that and see what happens. Forgive if the camera is a little bit shaky. I've had to increase the height. I want to try to show you this. This here, that's the strike for your hourly chimes. So I need to install it on the other side. And line it up. I need to make a small adjustment on the height and bring these down just a bit. Okay, adjust it down a bit. Let's see how we fit now. Slide over a bit. Just want to get the hammer centered on the chimes. Interesting. I have a loose wire. That should do it. Pendulum one. Only to clean it, of course. Do the rest of the weights. Now, of course, I don't know what time it is, but we can always adjust that after. What I want to do is just check the chimes. The hands are missing themselves. Pendulum moving. I'm going to switch over so we can check the chimes. So it thinks it's 1 o'clock. So I'll make a change in the front of the face. Move the hands to 1. Okay, let's see, 15 minutes. I had this set up for Winchester chimes. Now it's 15. Then half past. 1:45. And this is a 2 o'clock. I missed it. Yeah, this will be a 3. I like it. So right now, it's 11:22. So I'm going to do a switch down. I can't remember what this chime's called. Definitely has a lot more chimes. It's a good way to test all the hammers. And 4 o'clock. Swinging over to 5. We have to do a very slight tweaking on one of the hammers, but we'll just see how it goes over time. If you're interested, this is where I bought the clock mechanism. I look up what the other 2 chimes were. This is an older catalog, but if you see where I've checked off here, hopefully that's in focus. Okay, so we have the mechanism installed. I've put the door on. I've set up the time. I got light coming in from outside here, so I know it's a little bit washed out. So I'm pretty happy with the way the door fits as I hung it. And this one I did the door with 2 European hinges. Remember the start of the series I had shown a picture of a grandfather clock. That was one I built 10 years ago. And the way I did the door, I had to do custom hinges for it. Because I know the clock, I know how it works. But the hinges, it could be easily defeated because they are just MacGyvered together, I guess would be the term. This door here, there's no lock on it, but the European hinges do have the spring on it, so they stay closed. Not sure if I'll do a lock. We'll have to see. I do have the time set right, but I still may have to do some adjustment for chimes. I'll take you over and show the old clock body, but this one, here, let me do this. This one, which is different, is I cut these pieces on the router differently than the other one, so it's a flowing piece, more true to the plans, as well as I have the rounded front decorative pieces. So I can see from the door, pretty well centered on the curve and everything, which I quite like. Let me show you the other clock. So I'll show you the old clock, the original one I started at the beginning of this YouTube series. See the pieces on the side which are not routed, which are routed out, but they're not turned on a lathe, so they're a simpler design. And I also did the same at the top. I just routed both sides. So, and this isn't as beefy at the top. See that one, it's a different design. So the clock we just made, the pattern here is more true to the original designs. See the new clock, it's beefier at the top because I bought more solid stock, or thicker stock. The other thing I was cutting these out on the router, or on the other one. I think that brings the video series of the grandfather clock to a close. I still have to monitor it for a couple more days, as I said, to make sure it's keeping time properly. I still have to set up for the correct time. But yeah, I'm quite pleased on it. If you're interested, the cost for the material for the clock was somewhere around $380 and $420 Canadian. And that's buying the material locally at Wood Source, which is south of Ottawa here. And I want to give a thank you for Chris Alice Glass. They're in Kempville. They cut the glass for the clock. As I said, the plans came from online. They should still be available, but my plans go back over 10 years to the first grandfather clock I built. So I decided, let's make a YouTube video, show you building the grandfather clock. And I built it more true to the plans, so more of my skills in the last 10 years have improved, especially on the lathe. And that's about it for the grandfather clock. The next one I'm thinking of doing is make a base for this Tiffany style lamp. So I'll start to decide on the design. I bought some wood, including some rare wood, to give me some good contrast. I just have to come up with a design that I like. You're welcome to recommend any designs. That's it for now. The only thing is I have 2 grandfather clock bases now. I don't know what to do with my first one. Maybe if somebody's local and they're interested and they want to buy a grandfather insert for it from Clockit, which I showed you on the video, drop me a message. That's all for today. Thank you for your patience and your time.